This beautiful blue Cummins blew up on the guy's way to work today. Apparently it shredded the belt and he just had some things replaced on it yesterday. Dylan's pulling it in. We're gonna figure out what's going on. I can hear it rattling. Apparently the shop replaced the power steering pump. Holy cow. Apparently they replaced the power steering pump yesterday. I want to check it out with you if you don't mind.
All right, sounds good.
So Brandon was saying that a shop in Ogden yesterday replaced the power steering pump. The guy was headed to work this morning and it headed to Lehigh. And he said it blew up just moments from our shop.
Oh, yeah?
The way Brandon was describing it, the guy said the belt shredded, but looks like it's just shredding.
Yeah, it looked like it took off a rib. It's missing one rib. I don't know if they just didn't have their belt on right. The best thing to do is to take the belt off and then check all the pulleys, make sure everything's straight. I'm wondering if they had it off on, if you look down by the AC compressor, we can see the belt pieces actually. So if you look at the alternator, the belt's towards the front of the pulley, but down on the AC compressor, it's towards the back of the pulley. So it's like they didn't have the belt on right, is
Oh yeah.
what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's way off on that bottom.
So it's like the belt is sitting like this.
You can probably pull some of that.
Because it's on the front side of the alternator, but on the AC compressor, it's towards the back side.
Oh man, it's yeah, it's all built up behind that clutch.
Yeah.
Crap. Dude, you must have cleaned back here. Looks good.
Should have seen it yesterday with all the mud from that van.
Oh yeah. I saw you yesterday, dude, covered head to toe in mud.
Yeah, that reminded me of my days at my previous shop. It was just every vehicle was almost like that. I just like lived out in the country and everything's covered in mud. Worked for a mining company, so all the company trucks are just covered in mud and you're just constantly covered in dirt.
That is true. Sometimes I think with the snow and the crap that we get here, it's bad. That is right. You probably had it way dirtier.
Pull this out and we can look at stuff better.
Oh yeah. It's
So you see what I was saying about it's like at the front of the alternator, but the back of the compressor. So I don't know if when they put the belt on, they didn't get it aligned right on the compressor, like it was off just a rib, or if something's out of line. So
it doesn't sound like he's driven it very far until this morning, and then had the concern.
That's when it happened. Yeah. Yeah, that belt sucked into this compressor pulley pretty bad. There's the tensioner. You can see it's pretty worn too. You see that ledge right there in the pulley?
Right. Oh geez.
Hear that too.
Sounds like junk too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That should have gotten replaced.
When you pull off a belt, what kind of things do you test?
Well, anytime I have the belt off, I don't care if it's new or I had it off just 2 months ago, you know, I always spin every single pulley.
Right.
You know, you listen for noise like that. You'll feel for play in the pulleys, and they start to go bad. You'll get some side-to-side play, and it just helps alleviate a lot of frustration.
Right.
Like, you hate to get the job back together and then have a belt squeal you got to deal with. You know,
That you could have caught when you had belt off and you can check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these newer cars, it's hard to get to the belt. You can see here, it's starting to cut through the belt again. There. Yeah.
And then the rest of it looks like it's shoved up behind that
AC compressor, yeah. I'm spinning the AC compressor while I was down below, and it's still spinning. Doesn't have side-to-side play. And this is the front of the compressor. It's not, compressor isn't seized. Check the water pump here. That's still spinning good. Alternator. That looks good. We've got an either pulley here.
power steering pump. Yeah, looks
new. Looks like it has a new pulley on it.
Now, when you replace these pumps, do you have to put on a new pulley, or do you press on the old pulley?
Either or. It just depends on the condition of the pulley, but it looks like they did put a new pulley on this when they pressed it on.
Yeah, it does look clean.
And it looks flush, the end of the pump shaft. Well, it's probably hard to see, but it's not like they pressed that pulley on too far. So that's another thing, is you can press that pulley on too far and it'll throw your alignment off as well too.
Okay. So it should be pretty flush with the shaft?
Yeah.
Okay.
That fan clutch spinning good. I'm not getting any play in that.
This sucks if it was just they didn't get the belt right on
yeah.
at, the alternator compressor.
I'm looking down. I'm trying to tell if that power steering pump's out of alignment, but it looks to be lined up pretty good with the crankshaft, just from my eyeball.
Okay.
But we'll put a new belt on and make sure it doesn't suck in again.
Right.
If it does, it's possible that power steering pump pulley isn't pressed on correctly.
Okay.
We might have to pull it out just a little bit to have it lined up. But it looks like to me that it's just a alignment issue with the belt. I wouldn't say it's a brand new belt. It's been replaced. It's a Continental. So it has been replaced at one point in time, but you can see the cracks on it too. I don't know.
And those couldn't have been from just misalignment. I mean,
that's usually what you see from age. Newer belts are kind of changing where it's not so much cracking, but the depth of the V's. But even when you get cracking in them too, it's from age. Like you can see, we got cracks everywhere in this belt.
So they should have just replaced it.
Yeah, they should have done the belt, the tensioner. That pulley is got play in it. Is noisy, so the bearings are going bad. So yeah, we'll get a new tensioner for it, new belt, put it back on, make sure it's on correctly, and then start it up and make sure, watch it after you start it. Well, that's another thing you always do after you have your belt on, start it and then come out and look at your belt and make sure it doesn't suck in, and get off from an alignment issue. And then we'll see if it stays in place. If it doesn't, then we're gonna have to go through and figure out which pulley's out of alignment.
Well, what about this AC compressor though?
Yeah, I tried pulling on that one piece of belt and it didn't want to come out easily.
Right.
So I was gonna make sure to not pull it all the way out so I could get a picture for our service advisor, but I can try and pull it out and we can see what it does, or the best thing would just be to replace it, but obviously there's some cost involved with that, so we'll have to talk to the customer and see what he wants to do.
He's got so the belt should have just been replaced, but I don't know if you can see from this angle, he's got a bunch of the belt that's tied up shoved up behind the AC compressor, and it does not seem to want to come out.
So looks like we got to pull some stuff apart.
Yeah, we either replace the compressor or, I tugged on it, Dylan tugged on it, and it's not wanting to budge.
We got to get it replaced. If we don't, we're just going to cause another problem.
And then this.
Bearings on there.
Yeah, it's...
And you can even see on the edge of the pulley too.
Where it's rubbing.
Yeah, where it's been wore. It's
Yep.
just getting worn out.
Oh, awesome. Looks like we got some evidence. I might even bring it back here and let them look at it.
Yeah. So it looks like the belt is an old belt. Is that correct?
I haven't changed it since I bought it, and I bought it about 6-7 months ago.
And what happened with the power steering pump?
The power steering pump, initially it was just kind of leaking, and as time went on, it eventually, I guess, spun out, and then it caused the hydro boost to go out too. So
okay.
I had all that go out, and so.
Okay. Well, there's a few concerns that Brandon and I wanted to show you.
Okay.
And it's easier just to show you on your truck than to try and tell you.
Yeah.
So here's the belt, or what's left of it. It's coming apart, but you can see, look at all the cracks throughout this portion of this rib is gone. Some of it is left over and shoved behind the AC compressor.
Crap.
Yes, it's kind of hard to see. So there's a little, I'll try and laser point. This right there is the electrical wire to the compressor, but there is some of the belt. I don't know if you can see it from that angle.
Yep.
It's shoved behind the pulley of the AC compressor.
Yeah.
Quite a bit of it, actually. It's hard to tell how much.
Okay.
It still spins. We can still spin it, but we're gonna try and pull it out.
Okay.
The part that we don't know is if we'll pull out what we can see. What we can't see, there may still be some in there.
Okay.
The other option is just replacing it, but we won't know if it works properly until we get it back up and running.
Okay.
We're gonna see. I think this whole thing was caused by a misalignment of a belt.
That's what I assume.
It was sitting off one rib on the AC compressor. So either they misaligned it, I think, on the AC compressor.
Gotcha.
The rest of it seemed okay.
Okay.
We will, when we put it back together, we'll check and make sure that the whole alignment is okay. The power steering pump pulley looks like it was replaced with the pump.
Yep.
But we need to make sure once it's all back together that everything runs right.
For sure.
Your tensioner, though, is...
Oh yeah, she's noisy.
Yeah.
Okay.
We would recommend replacing this. This is what keeps tension on the belt.
Okay.
And this, you've already had it blow up on you. We don't want to send you down the road and have to see you back for another issue. You can see that it has a lip or a ridge right there.
Yep.
So Brandon will kind of, he'll take you back up. He'll go over some pricing and some options. It's up to you on the AC compressor. Again, we just can't fully check it until we try and rip as much of that out, put it back together, and see if it works.
Yeah, that's fine.
And the other thing too with the AC compressor is that possible there's a seal in there.
Yeah.
We don't know if that seal's got damaged or not. We just can't see it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
That's a good point. There's a little unknown with that. That's why we want to bring you back here and show you why we have that concern.
Cool.
So, the rest of it, I mean, beautiful truck.
Yeah.
I think him and I both own a Cummins. Dylan works on a lot of Cummins. It's more of a Chevy guy. But anyway, you're in good hands. We'll make sure we take good care of this.
Yeah, that's great.
Did you notice this morning, did you still have AC? I don't know if you were running AC this morning.
I wasn't running AC. I was running heat because it was
Okay.
chilly this morning.
So I think everybody else is running heat as well.
Yeah.
Any warning lights like battery light?
Nothing.
Power steering was working fine?
Worked fine.
Okay.
So.
No overheating, anything like that? Okay. All of the pulleys were still being moved. So, but if there was something like that,
I just
then
didn't want to keep
indicate.
driving and have it cause any, completely fall off and then we run into an issue where I don't have any of that.
So it's crappy that it got behind the AC compressor, but we've seen it get behind other pulleys, behind that large harmonic balancer pulley, and as bad as that is, then if you kept driving it, it can shove that belt up other pulleys and make the thing a lot worse. So
and I don't know, I guess good timing because it's starting to get cold, so I really won't need AC again in the winter. So if it needs to be replaced, then I can just hold off till the spring. But
that is an option for sure.
I don't know. So.
Yeah, we just we appreciate you coming back. Thanks for walking the maze with us.
No problem.
Well, Brandon, we'll give you some options, and we'll work to get you taken care of and back on the road. Thank you. So this is another teaching moment. It's awesome to work with awesome people. It makes the whole job way easier with good people like that. Now, what we do with people all the time, Dylan's giving you some pro tips on things to check for, even on a simple service like a belt. But for shops out there, one of the big issues that we see with shops is just poor communication. We're not perfect at it. There's a lot of things that we're not perfect at, and we can always do a lot of things better. But when a lot of customers come to us, what we see has failed with the previous service may not necessarily be the mechanic side of it or anything like that. It most of the time is a communication error between the service advisor not getting adequate information from the customer, and then that being relayed properly to the mechanic. So something in the customer to service advisor to mechanic, between that chain has broken in communication. So as much as we can, we try and involve the customer in the process. Often we walk them back into the shop, we show them their vehicle. It's way easier to explain something when you're actually looking at it. And then the customer can give you more details as well. But that transfer of information is extremely important, and it suffers, I think, in this industry. And so a good service advisor working with a good mechanic is a dream team. Fixing vehicles, a huge part of it is good communication.
A few minutes later.
All right, so we got the new belt on, the new tensioner, as you can see. And I started the truck up. And as I ran it, I was watching and I could see that the belt sucked in a little bit. So that means that our power steering pump pulley is too far in. When it was installed, it was pressed too far onto the power steering pump shaft, and so it's causing a misalignment, which is causing that belt to walk off. And you can see underneath the truck. So you can see here on the belt, we got a little space right here on the crankshaft pulley. That's because that belt is starting to walk backwards. And it's because this power steering pump right here is sitting too far back. When it was pressed on the shaft, the pulley got pressed on too far, which is causing the belt to slide backwards, which is then going to throw the alignment off and eventually cut the rib here or over here at your AC compressor. It hasn't walked off the AC compressor yet, but if I let it run for longer, eventually it would come off the pulley there, and then the back of the pulley would cut through the belt like it did for the customer. So I'll have to put my power steering belt pulley on the shaft here and pull it out a little bit, and then we'll start the truck and run it again and make sure that the belt stays in place on the crankshaft pulley here so it doesn't cause the same issue. So this is a power steering pump puller. It works pretty simple. So what we do is we bring it down, we slide it over the end of the power steering pump pulley. There's two different sizes. Once it slides on, then it pulls it backwards, and it'll pull this pulley out a little bit so then it's back in line with the crankshaft. Put my puller on there. Tighten this down. Oh, it's not aligned right. That side's too wide. shoot. That side's too tight and this side's too loose. Might have to get a different one.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
So the power steering pulley needed to get pulled out, but the problem I was having, I got my snap-on puller, and it's got two different sizes. I'll show you. It's got a wide end and a skinny end. And the skinny end was just a little, I couldn't slide it over the ledge of the pulley to pull it. And then the wide end was too wide. So this pulley they put on is like an in-between, just an aftermarket, some other part. So I went and grabbed another puller from another mechanic, and it's a different style where you got two pieces. And so I ended up having to get the two collars on and then kind of smack it with a hammer. So they slide on. Let me grab the other piece that fell. It's right here.
And is that collar like tapered?
Yeah, so it's flat.
Okay.
And then there's a ledge right here that grabs it. So I hammered one end on and had to hammer the other end on. And then this sleeve goes over the outside to squeeze them together. And I had to tap that on. So then I was finally able to kind of wedge it on. And then you tighten it down, and then this pushes the pump against the pump, and it pulls the pulley out.
Okay. And how much did you have to pull out? Because it
just like one rib, just like one little bit.
Okay.
So if you look here on the pump now, let me get my screwdriver out. So this ledge was flush with the pulley. So I pulled it out like 1/8 of an inch, just a little bit.
Okay.
So now with the fan out, I'll reset my belt.
Okay.
Then we'll start the truck and run it and make sure it stays true and stays on the truck before I put the fan back in.
And we got a new tensioner. Good.
Yeah, I got the new tensioner on there. You can see right here a little bit on the fan pulley where it's pulled in.
Okay.
You see the shiny spot where the belt should be.
Yeah.
And it's pulled in just a little bit. So I just pulled the pulley out that much.
Yeah. And the AC compressor, were you able to dig out most of it?
Yeah, so this was the piece that was in there. It was wedged in there really good, and I gave it some tugs, and then it broke. It didn't break inside the pulley. I felt it like loosen up, and then I was able to pull it out.
Sweet.
So
Okay.
I think I got all the pieces out of there.
Good, I'm glad.
Yeah, the customer decided it's getting to be winter. I'm not going to worry about the compressor right now. So, but I think I got all the belt out. I can't guarantee it, but I'm pretty sure I got it all out. So
Yeah.
we'll hope
Good.
he is lucky and that seal's good and he still has AC come summer. So now I'll just reset this belt. All right, you want to go ahead and start the truck and
Let's do it. Let's see.
make sure it stays in place.
Everybody's out of the way?
Yep, you're good to go. Yeah, that's better. Got to be careful here, but you can see here on the fan pulley, it's sitting back where it should be. And then on the crankshaft, there's a reluctor wheel on the backside, and the belt was starting to rub against that.
Oh. It's where the crank sensor picks up the signal?
Yeah, it's where the crankshaft position sensor picks up the signal, but now it's pulled back and it's sitting right where it should be. So just that little 1/8 inch of depth on the power steering pump made it so the belt pushed off.
This is the stuff that's awesome to me. The simple stuff that if you don't have an eye for those little details or the knowledge either, it can bite you in the butt.
Yeah.
Obviously like it did with this other shop.
Yeah. And the thing too is like the way I know about this is through experience, you know. I've fought this before in the past where it's like, man, why is this belt coming off? Like I can't figure it out. And mine was actually after I did a power steering pump as well too.
No way.
Yeah, so when I'm seeing this, I'm like, you know what? I think I know exactly what's happening by the issues I've had in the past.
By experience, yeah.
Yeah.
Ah,
Go ahead
sweet.
and shut it off.
Well,
It works.
sweet. That's what we like to hear.
Did you hear? So the power steering pulley was a little bit too too in, so
Yeah,
feeling
it's
how to
too
pull it
deep.
How
out.
to adjust it. All right.
We should be good to go. You're going to put it back together?
Yeah, so I'll put the fan back in it, and then I'll go take it on a good test drive down the freeway and just verify again after a good drive that it's sitting where it should be. But before even just running it that much, the belt moves. So I'm pretty confident now that we've got it resolved.
Nice job, Dylan.
Right on.
All right, so we ran the truck again. You can see the fans back in it. And you can see here, the belt's sitting on the pulley right. Before, it was jumping up and it was starting to rub on these teeth. These are a reluctor wheel for the crankshaft sensor. The belt before was jumping up over here, but now it's staying put up here like it should. All right, we got it all wrapped up. We got the new belt on, new tensioner, got that power steering pulley aligned right. So now we're gonna go take it for a good test drive out on the freeway and just make sure, once again, that everything's good to go and that the customer won't have any issues. Should we run over Dave? Yeah, looks like we're getting some cold air. Looks like for now, got AC. One thing I like to do, that I think is really important is to, when you test drive your vehicle, it's good to listen for noises, but it's also good to drive it as if you were the customer, like you're getting on the freeway, take it for a good freeway drive it around town a little bit, run it through the paces as much as possible as if you were the customer, that way it's getting driven again how it's going to get drove after you give it back to the customer, so you can do an even more thorough job of verifying your repairs and making sure that everything's right. Even though it takes a little more time, it's really crucial to do that. So it's important to have your mechanic test drive your vehicle after you're done getting it repaired. All right, I'm just going to verify one more time that the belt's sitting where it needs to sit. Everything looks good after we drove it out on the freeway. Everything's looking really good. Check underneath. Looks like we're good to go.
Appreciate your business. Yep. Let me know if you need anything, and keys are in the truck. Yep.